Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today we're at Dub Customs where ultimately I'm going to be collecting my Cayman GT4 having undergone a colour conversion with Arlon's Electric Lime wrap. It's looking pretty cool inside and I'm going to take you in to show you how the progress is going so far, and then hopefully at the end we'll be collecting it and taking it back home. But also today I've driven out in my new Focus RS, a car I've owned for a week today, and we're going to be doing a couple of small touches on this car too. So I intend fully to keep it in the launch colour, the nitrous blue, which is kind of the communication spec of the Focus RS, and I think it looks brilliant with the contrast on the black wheels, the privacy glass, the blue calipers of course as well. But what we're going to do is a couple of things. Firstly, we're going to be changing the roof. We're going to wrap the roof satin black. It will blend in through to the spoiler at the back and give it a more sort of sporty, aggressive look. So that will come all the way through these centerpieces to sort of blend with this part of the spoiler in the rear there. We're also going to do a small little thing to the RS logos here on the end plates at the rear wing. Those are going to be inspired by the RS badges rear and front, where we're going to do something with the blue and chrome. So that's going to be coming up very shortly. You might also notice, if you're very observant, I've put a new plate on. Well, it's still SH13 MEE, but now we've got a quote from Henry Ford. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. I think that's pretty true, pretty accurate. I love my little quotes from different sort of people involved in the company founders on each of my cars. So the nitrous blue is staying. We're just going to be doing these small touches, roof, badges on the end plates. But first, let's head inside and see how the GT4's getting on. Couple of nice cars in here today. So let's come over then and check it out. So this is looking very, very bold. The electric lime covering up now a vast majority of the car. We've got the bumpers, the rear wings, that sort of whole panel through to the A-pillar, the doors, the skirts. So the skirt was mounted back on without the vent, just so you can get round and get all the fiddly shapes. Now it will come off to have the vent put back on. The front wings here, the bumper being done currently, just sort of final trims and cuts and making sure it all fits neatly. This is looking strong. Doing the door shuts as well, so even this sort of part was blue before, all the way around. First time I've actually done door shuts on a car, but that is very neat. This is exactly how we wanted this to be. Can't wait to get it out into the sunshine where the colour will really pop. It's quite sort of pearlescent-y almost, from bright yellow through to green, and cameras never quite pick up the sort of pearlescent side of it. But when this is all back together, it's going to look awesome. You can see sort of masking tape just to protect from dust and things. Yeah, I'm excited about this. It's definitely, like I said before, going to be quite Marmite, but just bear with me. Wait until you see photos of this in the sunshine. It's going to look so good. The colour comes out quite similarly to the sort of Cayman R colour I mentioned before. Almost a bit like BMW's Austin Yellow as well. And we've also got some K&N air filters to go in, which is going to make a slightly different noise out of it too. And going to combine very nicely with the carbon IPE exhaust tips there. Well, obviously the sound comes from the IPE system, which is all of this, the box, and going through to the headers under there. Cool seeing that stuff. Not entirely sure yet about the red calipers against the lime, but then it does pop. We'll see, we'll see. And then, like I said, it's going to have a few more stickers and things as well in future. So that's going very well. We'll bring the Focus RS in, start working on that, and then come back to this a little bit later on. First thing for doing the roof here, we've got to clip out these black plastic pieces. They just remove easily, just so they're out of the way and it's easy to get to. I'll show you on the other side. This kind of thing is always part of the prep, just to make sure you can get it. Then it needs a little sort of wipe and clean before we start putting some vinyl over that. Pull the material over. Now here's a little trick, because there's actually an aerial right here. That's been templated, and now the template can go straight over the top. So a perfect hole can be cut. Very neat. And then that will be trimmed and placed. Now that's been cut, you can place it back, and obviously that will become much cleaner when it's sort of pressed in and pushed around. Cool, this is going to look really good. Time to place it down. You can see there's a bit of material on the back there so that it can be moved around. Drop that into place, that's why you template it. And then it can be started. Before the final trimming of the roof panel, this is what we're doing to these badges on the end plates. So first, we have a custom made chrome bit of vinyl, and then on top of that, we have the blue. And that is gonna look exactly like the boot badge there, on the side right here, in fact, like that. How cool is that? Tiny little detail, but so awesome. We're all done, just bringing the car out. Looks so good with that low sort of look of the roof line with the black. Let's pull it around and take a look in detail. By way of a quick wrap up for today, let's just take a quick little look at this because I am loving the way that roof has turned out. It just makes the car look a little bit sportier, stealthier, pulls away some of the sort of heights of the car and pulls it back down because you're looking at the sort of visual lines of the blue colour. Kind of makes sense, I think, if you look over it. But it also, with the satin, a couple of people on my social media have said, why didn't I do it gloss? But the satin of the roof and this rear panel too blend in with the satin on the spoiler, the satin you have on the aerial there in the centre, obviously the satin effect of the rubbers, you've got the door mirrors, you've got all sorts of parts, the wheels, the sort of chin spoiler down at the front, the central part on the grille, around the back too, so there's a lot of satin and here, so it all fits much more nicely to me that way with the satin rather than doing it glossy. These badges look awesome, they almost look like they're sort of OEM factory, they're sort of inverted sort of enamel kind of look with the chrome and with the blue. So big shout out to Dub for those. I think they might put them in their eBay store, so I'll pop a link to that as well. But very cool, very cool. Yeah, so I'm really happy. I love the way it's shrunk down the height a little bit, you know. You're focusing on where the sort of C pillar is and the A pillar rather than so much the height of the car, which just makes it look a little bit sportier. So I'm going to wrap that one up for today. We'll be back here tomorrow for the final stages of GT4. Day 2, we are back. Let's go and have a look at this because the progress is going rather well. You can see most of the panels are now done. The car is looking very, very electric lime, and something I hadn't really thought about. My initial worry with the red brake calipers actually ties in through to the red brake lights, so it kind of works and pulls together, and then we've got the red logos on the IPE exhaust there as well. So we've got finishing touches mostly to complete. We're going to do these little GT4 logos in electric lime as well, but the shuts, and this is what's so cool, all the door lines and all the sort of bits around the interior of the door line here just come together, even here. Blue is virtually hidden. Just a couple of things, we've got the mirrors, the roof, the bonnet, obviously putting the number plates back on. But I am looking forward to getting this outside. It's looking awesome, just needs a wing back on it too, but yeah, very exciting. The next part of this process, we're just installing the K&N air filters. I'm going to come around the other side actually and show you the one we've just taken out. If I can do this without getting my fingers completely filthy, that is horrible. This is the new part, much neater and tidier. Those just install under here and there. And we'll make it sound even better. So combined with the exhaust noise, we'll get even more noise of a sort of induction kind of sound. And then the exhaust also to add on top of that. So we'll get those in, and I can't wait to drive it. Progress is going well, but I want to show you this, which is kind of cool. So when the roof was laid down, this little tape was placed underneath, which has a sort of nylon thing inside it that you can literally just peel it back. And then when you take that off, it's been cut perfectly. So you don't have to trim off that excess. It's basically on. Then you pull off the film, this sort of tape, and you have a perfectly done edge, just like that. It just needs to be put in. And that might have been a C63 you had in the background there, but that is nice and neat. So we're not too far from taking the car outside. We've got the mirrors and the bonnet. Noisy, noisy. And then we will be outside with the car a little bit later on. It's late in the evening and the guys have been working like crazy to get this finished. But it's now a wrap. We have the finished electric lime Cayman GT4. We're going to take it outside to have a proper look, but for the moment, I'm just taking this in as I walk around it. The car is looking so good. It is exactly how I wanted this to come out. It's bright, it's very bold, there's no question about that, but in the sunshine, it is going to pop. It's been done really, really well, everything, and it just looks so nice here. I'm putting the badge back on, but obviously we're still wearing the 14 plate lined up nicely at the front. We've got the center caps done on the wheels, GT4 logo. We've got the GT4 logo done on the side vents as well. If I pull open the door, this is where things are just really, really neat with the shuts. You can see the way it comes around past the side sill, all the way through here, even on the back side there, done in the lime. Underneath, it's basically a lime car. It's like nothing changed. And then I'm going to come back round under the light to show you probably one of my favorite bits. The key is done to match as well. Love that. That's so nice. Like pretty much the only way to know the color of the car is if I show you under here. You can actually do this also, but there's the blue, but we'll get rid of that. Keep it with the lime. So let's start it up, obviously now with K&N filters fitted as well. Roll it outside and see how it looks on the move. But first impressions, this is fantastic. Now that we've got the car outside, the colour has changed slightly. It's actually looking a little bit more green underneath the white lights out here, so I can't wait to see how this is going to look in the sunshine tomorrow. I'm going to shoot a sort of update video answering a couple of other questions and things as well, so we'll be able to see the car out in bright sunshine that we have forecast at the moment. Although in the UK it's not going to be seeing too much of that, so it's a good thing. I've got a few trips and adventures planned with the new look GT4. It's going to be going to Germany for a bit, a couple of events around the Nürburgring, then I'm going to be taking it, of course, on my road trip with some of my other cars for what's going to be a pretty epic adventure, and I'll have more information about that in the not too distant future. I'm just keeping on looking at this because I'm kind of blown away with it. It's exactly how I wanted it. The film, the Arlon Electric Lime, looks stunning, and I have to extend a big thanks, of course, to the Dub Customs guys for getting this finished, ready for the upcoming adventures. So, GT4, Electric Lime, the new look to get the next sort of wave of things underway. I'm pretty pleased with it, and like I said, I'll show you what it looks like out in the daylight next time. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you're looking forward to seeing more of this in the future, and I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers!